Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It is Women Empowerment Wednesday, and I'm so excited to be here. I have some phenomenal, powerful, blessed women on a panel today. But I wanted to start out first by just talking to you, the woman owner, woman business owner, the entrepreneur, about making sure this month we're thankful. But in order to be thankful, you have to be whole. In order to be whole, you have to look at yourself and evaluate yourself. Now, I'm going to show you this, and this is life, okay? So you have to be spiritually whole to deal with life, mentally whole to deal with life, financially whole, physically whole, and then you need to be spiritually grounded and know who you are and be able to deal with your past, right? And when you put all those things together, you have a mighty fist, and you can deal with anything in life. But you have to assess yourself first. So, women business owners, I'm coming to you this month. Every month before we get started, I always have that one-on-one raw dialogue with you. This month, do a self-evaluation before you go into the new year. Look at how you can improve. If you need counseling, go to counseling. If you need to work on your weight, work on your weight. I have been personally looking at myself. You know that if you watch me on Facebook, I've been very transparent because I can't empower you if I'm not powerful. I can't lead you if I don't look at myself and see how I can work on my own self. So I want to tell y'all ladies, I made a commitment to lose weight. That was one of my things. I've lost 20 pounds. This is a size 10 skirt. So I'm so excited. You know, you set goals. And I'm not at the 25 pounds that I wanted to lose by this time, but I gave myself some more time. So give yourself permission and grace to set goals, be successful in those goals. If you're not, stretch those goals a little bit. This is your life. Your business will not be successful. You will not get where you need to go in your business if you are not a mighty fist. So, all right, one time for the strong women in the building, okay? So that's my little 2 cents this morning. That's my Wisdom Wednesday for you. You know, I do that every time before we start. So, but I am excited. We're going to open this thing up, open this view up, and you're going to see who's sitting next to me. I am so excited. I'm like a kid in a candy store. Because I'm sitting next to someone who I truly adore. She don't know secretly I like have been following her. And it's one of those people, and I told her in person that I always felt like I didn't have anything to bring to her. So I never approached her too much. And when I did meet one time with her, I was like, I want to help. How can I help? So there are people in your life that they don't know. They're like the Sojourner Truth. They're like the Harriet Tubman. And they keep coming back and they keep rescuing people. And you watching and you cheering and you're so excited for the things they're doing. So without that, before I start crying with this deep face, I am excited to have the Commissioner Regina Hill with us of the mighty District 5. So let's welcome Commissioner Regina Hill. Welcome so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
You know, honestly, I truly adore you. And I think that I've had a chance to kind of watch you. I've done some research a little bit on your story. But I want those women business owners who are watching today, who are watching from across the world, right? So we've had people watching South Africa, all over. Tell us about your story. Tell us who you are and why you fight so hard.
Thank you, Kim, first of all, for having me. And I'm almost about to shed a tear myself because it is a journey. And what inspiring and inspirational words of wisdom on this Wednesday, but you also for, presenting this platform for women because we're all we got.
That's all we got.
And we are so strong and mighty and we are that fist. But at times we're frail, and we're weak, and so it does take other women like yourself to be that conduit of with that fist up, push you forward, right? So who am I? I am a mother. I am a grandmother. I am a nurse. I'm a veteran. So the journey. I was not always Commissioner Regina I. Hill. I was a little girl from Tavares, Florida, in a segregated community that came to Paramore with a single mother. That was a lot of love in the community, but there was a lot of despair. There was a lot of hopelessness. There was much poverty, but nevertheless, persevered. And I went on to the military, to the Navy.
Thank you for your service.
Actually, thank you. And thank all those that are out there that have served. And there's something that I try to carry is the fact that you are not great by a title. You're great by your service.
Amen.
So to all the other great women out there that serve in whatever capacity, whether it's taking Miss Mamie next door a cup of coffee and just saying, I love you. That's to me represent greatness,
service,
right? That's service. But I am also someone that had struggles in life.
Don't we all?
And not so pleasant past, but a great future.
Right. Come on.
Even in that.
Come on.
Stuff, right? And I found my way and made it through. And now I sit before you as City Commissioner Regina Hill.
Of the mighty District 5.
Of the mighty District 5. And the reason we say mighty District 5, because District 5, I call it the tales of two cities. I have the haves and the have-nots. Yeah. But by community stakeholders and partners like yourself to empower others through knowledge, through presence, and resources. In the last 8 years, we have seen tremendous growth, not just for the haves, but for the have-nots. When it comes to education, we now have we have a university, a junior college, and a pre-K. Now, actually, a child care to 8th grade there in the heart of Paramore. Right there. We have invested over $30+ million there in affordable housing in Paramore. We have a tech campus now in Paramore with EA Sports coming. Have built 17 homes. Yeah, and I met you at one of them. One of those homes. 200 homes.
I mean, and it was really nice. I mean, the marble and the woodwork. Absolutely. And I was just really, I was like, now, can I buy a home?
And that was the purpose.
Yeah, I really felt that way. Yeah.
That my hope, because I grew up there in Paramore, not ever having my own bedroom, not ever being exposed to central air and heat growing up.
Me too. Well water.
Having having water that didn't taste like bottled water, right? Tastes like it was coming truly from out of a rusted faucet. But nevertheless, it made us stronger.
It did.
You know, and that's why I somewhat make sure to pay it forward and work as hard as I do and strengthen the District 5 is not Regina Hill. District 5 is the people. And what I did was able to access those that was in status quo, as you would say, and go into City Hall and make sure that every time I go in, the people go in and the purpose of why I'm there is represented in boardrooms. And then I make sure every time I come out of the boardroom that those that are in the boardroom, we have reached an agreement to where you can be whole, but when I walk out that door, the people are going to be whole too.
Right. Everybody gets a piece of this pie. And everybody. And I love it because you fight for everyone equally. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's the thing, that when I associate you with a warrior. You know what I mean? I really do. And I know that in being a warrior, it's still very hard and challenging for you. So I'm going to go into these questions if you don't mind. You're an amazing warrior and champion for not only District 5, but for all of Orlando. How are you able to renew your energy and your advocacy bank, your emotional bank, the bank that you go to when you having the hardest times in life? And you have had the hardest times in life. Like, I'm not even going to tell you. So how do you, and I say this because you also own a business too. You didn't mention that, but I want people to know she owns business too. So how do you, and these are women that are just like us, right? How do you get your emotional bank and fill it back up? What are you doing to fill your bank up enough to go back out like Harriet Tubman, like Sojourner Truth, and do another trip?
Well, because we're transparent, and you'll find that I try to be as open and transparent as possible. So yes, there's been some trials and tribulations even in this space. In 8 years, I've lost a daughter tragically.
Can't even imagine.
Lost a brother here recently.
Can't imagine.
From COVID-19 for lack of proper care that happened to have been incarcerated. Have had tremendous lows in life. This isn't an easy seat to sit in, but every day I think about who sent me. First of all, God sent me.
Come on.
And I know He's not going to send you into something.
Right. And
not to bring you out and equip you with what you need.
That's right.
Right. But nevertheless, like I stated earlier, we are still human vessels.
That's right.
And we have our frailties. But what makes me get up is that I know somebody somewhere that's watching me need me to get up.
They do. We do. We do.
Because if I get up and they say, if she has gone through in front of her eyes all of that, and still get up, to make a difference,
and still fight,
I can do it too.
That's right.
So it's greater than myself.
It's bigger than you.
It's bigger than me. And I always have to remember, no matter what the trials I'm going through, whether it's personal or whether it's political or just called the stories of life, I got to get up, because if I don't get up, it's somebody waiting for me to get up that's going to lay down.
Right. Oh, that's deep. That's deep.
Yeah.
No, let's stop right there for a minute. What you said was real deep.
Yeah.
And what I heard was, I got to stand in this place and I got to fight, because if I don't fight, somebody going to come into this space and they're not going to fight like I fight. They're not going to care like I care. They just want this space just to lay in this space to say they got a title to be in this space. But God put you in that space.
Absolutely. And it's not the seat. Put me in that space called going through.
Come on.
So some people can come out.
Holding the door open.
Holding that door open. Even if you're just swinging.
Look, all you got is just
all you got.
You just holding on to the door.
Yeah, I got to keep the door cracked.
I'm just leaning on the door.
Even if you got the lean, now that's deep.
You got to lean on the door.
You got to keep the door open.
You got to keep the door open. Come on now.
For another woman.
Come on.
Huh?
Come on.
Because that woman might go through the door while you leaning and hold that door for you.
Come on.
While you're trying to strengthen yourself, and then you can go back out and continue to work. So that's why the sisterhood thing is so important.
It's so important.
Because when I'm leaning, you're standing.
That's right.
And while you're leaning, I'm standing.
But together, we're going to make it through.
Together, we're going to make it through.
Okay, come on.
Right?
That was a word right there. Listen, let's pass the offering and let's do things. So we have one more question. We talked about this. How can we support you in your future endeavors?
Well, it's forms like this. I believe knowledge is power, and education and partnerships are powerful. And what I see, what we as women don't do often, and that's why I just want to say thank you. Because sometimes when we have a platform, we don't want to share it with others as women, because we're intimidated, we're threatened. So we have to build each other up, hold each other hands along the way.
That's right.
And celebrate when somebody get their shot.
That's right.
And we got to make sure that no matter if it's in the front or in the back, that we're steady pushing them forward. Because now somebody else, while you're moving forward, you're now creating a space for somebody to take your space while you continue to grow. And I believe these workshops of empowerment are important, not just from an inspirational point, but bringing tools after the conversation for folks to work with. So that's how I believe that we can work together, especially in business. If you know about opportunity, tell the next sister.
That's right. Partner.
Because partnership, I believe in joint partnerships. And I say this often, especially to my women and African-American vendors that are bidding on city contracts. I say, now, you can't be the prime, but if you do a joint venture, y'all can become the prime.
That's right.
Right? Because capacity and resources connected together is powerful. And people cannot, and expertise together is powerful, and they cannot deny you. Right? So I believe it's not about how you can help Regina Hill, how you can help us.
Right, right.
And that is partnership and sharing knowledge and coming together and sharing resources. And that's what I see others do, is that they might not like one another, but they will partner together to get the job done.
That's because there's respect.
There you go.
I don't have to like you, but if you respect me and I respect you and you respect the craft and you respect what I'm trying to do and my level of excellence, then I'm gonna work with you. So for every small and diverse business that wants to do work with the city of Orlando, what should they do and who should they contact to get in contact so that they could start looking at opportunities?
Absolutely. First of all, we have a MWBE program there that is very active and engaging, and we award contracts. And what you would do there is contact our MBE program underneath the leadership of Mr. Gennaro Coulter, and start the process of certification. And after that, also go on our vendor link so that you will always know about contracts that's up and coming. And I always would say, before the contract, start building relationships within the community or those primes that you see out there doing other jobs, because city contracts aren't the only contracts. There's so much opportunity in private contracts and building these relationships. Don't just stop at the city certification. Make sure that you get your small business certification, your county certification.
That's right.
Your state certification with DOT,
right.
with GOA, and
That's
all
right.
these other entities statewide, and invest in yourself.
Yes.
When I say invest in yourself, participate workshops like this. Go out throughout Florida and start building these relationships. Go out the state and build relationships.
That's
because
right.
these contracts and opportunities are throughout. And let's not just stay focused when you think about governmental contracts, that the only thing that they have available for especially women and people of color is construction.
Oh, no.
All right. So my job is, and what I'm actively trying to do, is that we make sure on our vendors and procurement portion that those goals are met also in goods and services.
Oh, y'all exceed them. You're not playing with it.
Yeah.
Oh, I've been studying.
So we're doing well.
Yeah.
We still have far to go, because my hope is to make sure our MWBE doesn't just offer contracts, that now we're building capacity for those vendors that we're working with, that Black and brown and women.
So they have longevity. Yeah, absolutely.
So they can have and sustainability, and that they don't just get the $200,000 contracts, that they get the multi-million-dollar contracts. And we have Duke Energy. We have so many different contract opportunities, but one must invest in themselves and attend these workshops that give you the tools. Just submitting a bid isn't going to do it. Knowing what you do after you get the contract.
That's right.
Regarding change orders, regarding amending your contract, because developers, they're into it to make money. Right. So you can lose your whole company getting the wrong contract.
Right. You grow yourself out of business.
You grow yourself out of business.
There's so many things.
So that's what I think, Kim, yourself and many other women that's in your position, is to help me present these workshops to grow women. And as you say, from a holistic manner.
That's right.
And before I go, I want to go back to, what do I do to continue on? I also have a therapist, because a lot of this stuff that we carry, we can't continue to carry.
You cannot.
And be productive.
You cannot.
And to help others. So we have to start focusing on self-care, because when you're a business owner, you're carrying families on your back.
Yes.
And that keeps us up at night.
It's a heavy load.
It's a heavy load.
I'm honestly,
and so we need somewhere, strong women need somewhere where they can be weak.
Right.
They need somewhere where they can drop this stuff and pick up tools to march forward.
To keep going.
Right. And so that's something that I want you all out there to do, that are strong, that are business owners, to know that you are not weak when you ask for help.
That's right.
When you say that you're going to go and speak with someone I call it a life coach.
That's right.
And call it what you want to
call it. Right. Because life is hard. And who teaches you how to go through life?
Go through life and go through business.
Nobody.
So I say that if nothing else, that we can do to empower ourselves and keep getting up to do this thing, to be in this realm and do this work, because it's not just making sure what your budget line out, it's dealing with people.
Right.
So the other thing that I've gone and started to do is to learn more about emotional intelligence.
That's very important. That's very important. Yeah. It's critical.
It's critical in order to have a successful business or be successful yourself.
Yeah. And that's cutting edge too. So I'm proud of you for doing that, honestly.
Yeah.
Because people don't think about the emotional part and the psychological part of people.
Dealing with people.
And everything is about people.
Yeah. So those are some of my words of wisdom to take away today, is self-care.
Self-care.
so that you can care for others.
That's right. So you can hold that door open.
So you can hold that door open, even if you got to leave.
Even if you got to leave.
Leave with it.
Rock with it, leave with it, rock with it, leave with it, rock with it. All right. I have enjoyed this time with you. Thank you so much. We're going to go to our next break, which is sponsored by Duke Energy, our title sponsor. Stay with us. We have Dr. Jocelyn Henson next. She's going to bring some, she's going to come behind this phenomenal woman and hold it down.
And bring that heat and air of transparency.
As well.
I will say that Jocelyn Henson has been my rock.
Yeah.
And that's prior to becoming commissioner. And I would say everybody need a Jocelyn Henson.
They really do.
She's wise, she's funny, but smart. One of the smartest people I know.
She is one of the smartest. Effortlessly.
Effortlessly.
She do it without thinking. Yeah. I worked for her for 4 or 5 years, and it was just amazing how she'd come in and put something together. I'm like, all right, I'm done. I'm like, I've been working on this 7 days. 7 days. You're gonna really get it. Yeah, you are. All right. So thank you so much. Now, if you're interested in contracts with the city of Orlando, you heard contact the city's department. They have a very robust and strong and dedicated MBE program, and they'll be willing to help you with your certification and help be a strong advocate for you with contracts with the city. And
absolutely,
and they report to her, so they know they're gonna get it done.
And it is mandated.
Yes,
that every contract in the city of Orlando has 6% women participation.
Oh, okay, okay, all right. Thank you, everyone. We'll be right back in a moment.
Thank you.
At Duke Energy, it is their privilege, policy, and practice to proactively seek and build relationships with diverse suppliers. Through supplier diversity, they build relationships with diverse businesses capable of providing commodities and services at competitive prices. Those relationships also help to strengthen economic and improve business opportunities for everyone. This is done by their 3-point approach. Educate customers and employees, assist customers, and improve performance. Thank you to Duke Energy for supporting Women Empowerment Wednesday.
All right, we're back. Listen, y'all experienced that before. Commissioner Regina Hill, Mighty District 5. I still have the same level of excitement. So let me tell you about Dr. Jocelyn Henson. I met her when I was transitioning from working for Pepsi, and I had a baby, and I had taught public school for 1 year, but I needed to do something else. So I went to an interview for her. First of all, I applied for like a lot of jobs at Orange County Public Schools, but I did get an interview with her and 3 other people. I remember that day, and I'm sitting there and I got all these notes, and she was so intelligent. She was so charismatic. She was so really involved in, okay, tell me who you are. And that's just who she is as a person overall. She's very compassionate. She's very caring. She is a leader and she's a developer. Many people like me, and I started with my diversity program with you, Jocelyn Henson. But there's a lot of us that came through. Willie Johnson, who now leads CHEP Global Diversity. There's several other ones that I could mention. We all started under you. And you loved on us, taught us, and then you let us go. But then after we, like a flower like that, that's how we do it. But she's always continued to pour into me. And so I'm more excited today to have her because this is where I started. So it's almost like coming back home and having you here. So I know you, but can you tell everyone a little bit about yourself and all these awards that you've won? Under 40, top 40, under, go ahead. I'm sorry. I don't want to tell.
First of all, I want to thank you for being here. For letting me be here.
Okay, my pleasure.
And I do want to register a complaint because I should not have to follow Commissioner Hill.
Okay.
Because she's so dynamic.
She is dynamic. I think you can hold it down though. So, but I will note your complaint.
Thank you.
To the complaint department.
Right.
Okay.
Thank you. I am originally from Orlando, graduate of Jones High School, went away. I also I got my graduate degree at Rollins and UCF. So I am homegrown and home educated. I've worked for the school district for 22 years. Mm-hmm. And the last 15 years has been in supplier diversity, and which is where I met you. And you left out the part of your story where you told us what we should be doing better.
In the interview, what I had notes.
No,
and recommendations.
Right. Who does that? I'm like, what? But yes, so I do want to say I've been with the district for 22 years. I've been in supply diversity for 15. I have done had a few awards. OBJ has honored me with 40 under 40, and actually I was pregnant at the time, and Kimberly went and accepted my award for me.
I did,
and so that was a right blessing at the right time. Last year, I was the recipient of OBJ's Diversity in Business Award, and I've received an award from Florida Florida State Minority Supplier Development Council. And so I've been around for a while, and I really want to thank you, not just for having me, but for having this forum. And I want you to know in front of everybody how proud I am of you.
Thank you.
I am proud of you. I'm proud of the transparency, the effort. You've always been tenacious. You've always been always had fortitude to keep pushing in this role in your business, and you are pushing and lifting other women, and that's awesome.
Thank you so
awesome.
much.
That is awesome.
Well, I've had people like you who were striving yourself and with fortitude, right?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Come on now. Yeah. Come on. Striving.
I got it.
And then had the other hand down here pulling. Come on.
That's it.
So, to whom much is given, much is required. And I am only a reflection of what's important to me. And so that's why when, but you held me accountable. You did hold me accountable when I'm working. And I love that. I remember, we're going to go into the questions. And this is what you need to know with women, because everything that we're going to talk about is for you women business owners. Right. I remember when I was working for her, and I was going through divorce, and I went to her and I was like, I need to make more money. I guess it's just for me. I don't have two incomes anymore. And you said, well, there's no more growth in my department, but you can go get your master's degree. And I said, master's degree. You were like, yeah, you should have more education. Like, you need to have the education that you need. No. And he's like, and you can work on it, and you can get what you need, and I'll support you. And working there, I was able to work to get my master's degree, and that helped me move to levels and levels and levels that it was required as part of the experience that I needed to get here. So had you not said, no, but maybe not go this route, but you can go this route, and you need education, because he was like, I got mine. See all these degrees? See, doctorate, bachelor's, master's.
Wendy from Housewives of Potomac. Yeah, 6 degrees.
Yeah, like she really do. And every time I turn around working for her, she had another certification. I was like, okay, so I got to get the CPGP certification.
ABC.
So I'll go into the questions. How have you found balancing running one of the country's largest diversity programs and being a wife? And thank you to your husband for his services.
Thank you.
And tell Craig, who's also a rattler, and being a mother, being a daughter, and being a community servant. How have you, and there's no such thing as balance, so how have you found being able to do all these things successfully?
Right. In the words of Dr. Seuss, life's a great balancing act.
It really is.
You have to step with great care and tact. You gotta take care of yourself first. You really do. You've got to take care of your health. You've got to take care of your mental health. You've got to do that. And so I try to do that. I do. I'm probably not as great at it as I could be, because I haven't lost 20 pounds, and I've been trying.
Listen, life will teach you and have you lose 20 pounds too.
Yes, it will.
Okay.
It will. And so, in addition, I think taking care of yourself and really just every day reminding yourself what's important. Why am I doing this? What am I going to do? I think for me personally, I can only take life one day at a time. We all can. But I think for some people that means something different. And for me, it means if I looked at everything I had to do just this week, I would be overwhelmed. And I would be discouraged. So looking at myself, my calendar, and my to-do list, one day at a time helps me to get through. And it helps me to at least keep the balls up in the air. And when they fall, I pick it up, and I remind myself that life is, life gives you another opportunity to get it right. Yes.
Just keep going.
Just keep pushing.
Knowing what you got to eat, right? But then, but only biting off what you can chew.
Right.
I love it.
Right.
Okay, so you are over the Office of Business Opportunity. What services do you provide to small and diverse businesses under the leadership there?
We are a 4-person team normally. Right now, we have 3 people. We've not filled our 4th space because we don't know how COVID is going to affect us. irony in that is that COVID has infected the people we serve. So we run the gamut. We provide training, we provide outreach, or networking opportunities. We provide communication and information about opportunities, not just with the school district, but with any other agencies or entities that we know of. We try to prepare our vendors for opportunities with the school district. When things go awry, we provide mediation. We act as a liaison.
I remember those days.
Yes, we act as a liaison, and we encourage businesses just to come see us, because that way we can try to map out a plan on how your particular business or your particular service can do business with the school district. So we do internal marketing on behalf of companies. We do external marketing on behalf of companies. And we try to, sometimes we match people up with other businesses that can help them be more successful. So we do a lot. We try to do a lot. And we try to meet people at their place of need, where they are in their business cycle.
Yeah. And one of the things that I know that I've experienced just from being there is how you've taken a business, Axios, for example. I remember going and doing their LDB certification at their house. And now they are multi-million-dollar contracts and building projects. But they all were part of the mentors that come through your program. And the one thing that people don't know is that you are really getting the trenches of making sure that you look at developing the businesses. You actually, once contracts are awarded to contractors, you've had where you brought minority contractors in and you looked at, okay, what are some challenges? What are some successes? And so that not only are you helping that particular contractor or general contractor, but those that are coming behind them can sit at this table and they can see what they've gone through and negotiating what they've gone through and building a school or just anything. The other thing that's important that they need to know is that, because you're being very modest, the other thing they need to know is that your department acts as a liaison to champion for opportunities for minority and small businesses with the procurement department. You go to the procurement department monthly and sit with them and say, okay, what's coming down the pipeline in 120 days, 90 days. And then they tell you, okay, this opportunity is coming down the pipeline. And then y'all get running on it to find the person, get them ready. I heard Craig and them could do it. Okay, let's see if they can do it.
We do. And I'm glad you brought that up, because it's a poor frog that praise his own pond.
That's okay.
And so I have to give kudos to the team I work with. Vanessa and Aaron do an extraordinary job.
They do.
But to your point, Aaron recently had a general contracting bid, and it was limited just to minority and women-owned businesses and local developing businesses and veteran-owned businesses, because those are our 3 programs. But there's a large barrier and a bit of intimidation about doing business with us from the construction side. And the only way people could get experience is if they were either in a mentor protege relationship. But this opportunity that we kind of shelter just for our small business community allows several local firms to get an opportunity to do business with the district and get that exposure to how we do business. And so that has been, to your point, we work really closely with procurement to identify opportunities that work well for our small businesses.
Procurement, food service, construction, technology. Y'all really were technology. I remember you had a LDB's concrete curb, which was a multi contract that was for LDBs. You have several contracts. So tell me about one success story. I've been stealing your light on success stories because I know so many. And there are so many. So tell me one success story that you could think of so that these women business owners know that's what's possible.
Right. So when you mentioned technology, I think of Tri-Org.
Oh, yes.
They came to us.
Joseph.
Yes, Joseph is phenomenal.
Love him.
Right. So he came to us and wanted to do business with the district. We set him on a course. He worked really closely with Dalia. And got on a course. And so now he's on a couple of contracts with the district providing technology services. But the other day I saw him on a construction team. They are renovating several locations, and they asked Joseph as the technology expert to be on their team. And so that was just heartwarming. Aaron worked with him, Dalia worked with him, and he won an award and was recognized for his his tenacity. Yeah. He's a go-getter. But when I think about women-owned businesses, I guess I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Vernice Atkins Bradley.
Of course.
Right?
And she'll be on next month.
Great. And what's so great about it is that it's a woman-owned construction field. And so believe it or not, we are still underrepresented in construction.
We are.
You know, it's not a traditional female-owned business. And every time I see a woman come into a presentation, I am always glad when they're not just the business. Right. Yeah. But wait a minute. I'm glad to see them there no matter what capacity. Right. But when they own the business, you know, it warms my heart and speaks to what we're trying to do. But I met Vernice when she was an executive with Turner Construction.
That's right.
And well-known professional in the area, had really progressed and she has a law degree and she was in a comfortable position, but she decided to step out on faith. She did. And
come on.
Yeah, she did. And what you have to know about her is that she's shrewd. She seems like, you seems like you're having a casual conversation, but she's in her head thinking of the next conversation or the next question. Yeah. And
how she can connect the dots.
Exactly. And she struggled for a bit with Vodum. But now I think she's on the rise. She had a successful project with the city. I know the commissioner was integral in getting that. Yes. She has several projects in partnership with Wharton Smith, with our agency. But what I love about her is that she gives back. She reaches back. If it's a subcontractor that needs an opportunity, she tries to work with them. And to that same extent, Horace Construction, which is one of our success stories, because Lena is a wonderful female executive because she, better than a lot of people I know, implements and executes best practices in marketing and networking, and she's just fluid in that. And so I claim Vodum as a success story because, wow, to see her having gone from reaching a pinnacle or a peak in corporate America and turning on faith and coming and opening her own businesses, struggling to get it started and going through heartache, and now have these contracts is just phenomenal. And so we are very proud of her.
I think I did her LDB when she first started, and I went to her office, and I remember talking to her, and she just believed in herself. Yeah. Like she's like, no, I've made a lot of money for Turner. I've done a lot of great things for Turner. Because you have to know your worth. And she said, but I know that I could do more. And to your point, my first Women Empowerment Wednesday, she carved out time. She came.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. And every time that I've connected someone to her, she makes time to meet them.
She does.
She could say, well, let me let you meet somebody else. Or, let's push it back to 3 months from now. Right. Within 2 weeks, she's meeting with them.
Exactly. She does that. She's phenomenal.
Yeah.
She is.
So, okay, next question is, what are some contract opportunities with OCPS that you can tell people about, or tell them how to find the contracts?
Well, two things. I did bring our upcoming contract sheet.
Okay.
And if you could post that, I'd greatly, or link to it, I greatly appreciate it.
It will.
We have an HVAC filter changing contract that's coming out on the street within the next 90 days. We have a few professional services and construction management opportunities that are currently on the street. And I mention those specifically because subcontractors need to be aware of that.
Yeah.
And we have some construction and AE projects that are coming up as well. Yeah. But if you want to do business with the district, you do want to register with VendorLink, and you also want to register with the Office of Business Opportunity. The last Friday of each month, we offer a doing business with OCPS workshop, and we have key people from procurement there, and you are invited to attend it. It's via Zoom right now or WebEx. And so that's the way to go. You want to register with VendorLink, you want to register with our office, and call us, come see us and talk. Let's talk, because we are a mammoth-sized organization.
Yeah. I mentioned earlier, I remember the capital budget used to be $2 billion, but I'm not sure what the capital budget is now. And I remember it being 191 schools, but I don't know how many.
We're over 200, like 212 now.
See, okay, so my information is dated. Right. But when you think about 212 schools and what those schools need, right? And all of the supplies and materials. So it's a lot more than construction.
Right.
There's also the partners in education. So women-owned businesses. I've recommended some of our clients contact the Partners in Education department and your department because they can develop relationships with the schools that are within a certain radius of their business.
Exactly.
So opportunities with Orange County Public Schools come through the procurement or construction, and then some of them come through the principals at the schools.
Right.
And they have a discretionary budget of under $5,000. I think they could spend on a P card or something like that.
Yes.
So it's really good to work.
Go ahead, tell us. I love it. I do. I love
See how the stuff you taught me?
Yes, and you're doing a wonderful job.
I still got it.
Yes, you do.
You train me Delta style. Like, okay, run it. I was like, okay,
and you running it. So yes, you are right. I'm glad you mentioned Partners in Education.
Yeah, Partners in Education is a really good tool for women-owned businesses, especially those smaller ones who don't have the capacity yet, but could service 1 or 2 schools. Right. And they still need, even if you go through Partners in Education, you still want to contact the Office of Business Opportunity because you want to have to work on your certifications. Those schools, principals and stuff, they still want to be able to count. They spend money with local developing businesses.
Exactly.
They're still reporting that stuff to you. So I'll go into the next set of questions. What obstacles have you faced advocating for small and diverse businesses, and how have you been able to overcome those?
Well, I think the biggest obstacle is perception. You know, a perception on both sides, right? Like sometimes my counterparts internally, I have to sell them on the value of doing business locally and with a small business. They don't understand that when we support small businesses, we are really supporting the children of the families we serve.
That's right.
Right. And so, and a great portion of the money, more than if you spent it with a large firm, stays within our community. So that type of mindset that we will prefer to go with the big company as opposed to the small company is present. But it's also a mentality among my small businesses sometimes feel that they can't do business with the school district. And then there's a perception amongst small businesses that that they don't want to do business with each other, right? So I think perception is the biggest obstacle. I have tried to combat that with success stories, you know, and we talked about Vodem, but we've got tons of firms that OCPS is a part of their story. And we've had tons of people who have come to the district and performed and been successful. And so perception is my biggest obstacle. Yeah. And when people come through and they show that we can do a fabulous job at a fabulous price and offer you the service that you want at a competitive price, that's what, you know, really makes my day. You know, it seals the deal, right? Because then it opens the door for people to be more open-minded the next time.
Leaving that door open.
Yes.
Right. Understanding that person can actually do the job.
Right, exactly. That what you're doing here might be done by TED Talks or whomever, right? But we have somebody right here locally, right? I don't need Jada, I got you, right? Okay. So, yes, exactly. So telling that story and overcoming that perception is so critical.
Yeah. I'll be Jada.
What? Yes, you got that.
Come on with yourself. I sure appreciate it. So one of the things that I remember, and so that small and women business owners remember, this is what you taught me. Let's see if I can remember it. When there's this child that goes to a school, and that child may be on free and reduced lunch, and that child is struggling because their father does not have a job. So if the school district hired this particular small and diverse contractor, that contractor is going to hire that parent that didn't have a job. Now that parent feels good about themselves. Now they're more engaged in their child's education. Now their child is not on free and reduced lunch or whatever it may be. There's nothing wrong with that. But that child feels more vested in their success of their education. So now we have a child that's a lot more fully functioning and excelling well in their education, all because now that family that used to be maybe living in an environment they didn't want to live in, now they have enough money to move into a safer neighborhood. They may even purchase a home, all because we took the time to hire that vendor.
Exactly.
And that's why it's so important.
It is. And one of the biggest determinants of reading and academic success is socioeconomic status. And to the extent that we can increase the socioeconomic status of the Orlando statistical metropolitan area, we are helping the children and families we serve be successful.
And at the end of the day, that's the most important thing.
Right.
And you've said that many times.
That's what that, yeah.
Because
that's why we're here.
That's why we right. That in fact, you have 4 kids.
Yes,
so
I
you
do.
are invested in as a mom, somebody else's child being successful too.
Yes, exactly.
And I low key have a crush on your youngest child who just walked past me. He's like 10. So like, what's up with that?
Right.
So we talked about you being recognized for so many awards deservingly.
Thank you.
What is the secret to your success?
Woo. Prayer, of course, right? Yeah.
And she needs prayer.
Yeah, exactly. Prostate, yes, straight out, yes. And actually, I think it is that I love to learn, I love to listen and I watch and I pay attention, and I'm always in the mode of what's next, what we could do a little bit better. And I think sometimes, I thank you for this, because we had a conversation a while back about what more I could do.
Right.
And so I think success leaves clues.
It does.
It does. So you're a success story. And I've got some clues from you.
Okay.
Right. I get
I don't know if you want the clues that you got from me, but I appreciate
that I get from interacting with people that own their own businesses, people that are successful in their fields. I try to surround myself with positive people. In fact, on my social media, if you're not showing something positive in my spirit, I'll unfollow you. I'm not going to unfriend you, but I'm going to unfollow you, because that's not healthy for me.
Right.
Yeah. I need to be around people who are talking about more than other people.
Right.
So, right. So it's just like, I try to identify and align myself with successful people.
Yeah.
Yeah. And practices.
Well, I know that I just got word that we are. Yeah, Danisha has. Y'all know Danisha. Danisha has given multiple signs.
Yes.
So I want to give you parting words. Is there anything that you want to say to us, a woman-owned business that's watching, and it could be either personal or professional? Are there any parting words that you want to give? And you've given a lot of nuggets, so their cup should be running over right now.
Right. As women, we do so much. We do. We have families. We have jobs. We try to take care of our health. And if I could say anything, I'd say be your best you. Just keep striving, keep pushing, recognize the good in you and where you want to go, and dwell on that. Be reflective and intentional about who you are and what you want to do, and don't let other people limit your thoughts. I think Vice President-elect Kamala is an excellent example of somebody who people probably didn't think they'd see her on that stage in that position.
Yeah.
And you have to keep pushing and believing in yourself. And so just do it. And if you need people to help you, you have forums like this, but you can always come see us at opportunity. So thank you so much for having me, Kim.
Thank you for
been a blessing to my spirit. I'm going to stick around and see the other ladies.
Oh, good. I'm glad. Good. Then we'll do some posts with you. Then that's good. Okay. But thank you for coming. Thank you for.
Don't get my shoes.
Oh, get her shoes, please.
My shoes.
You got her shoes?
Yes, okay. I got. Yeah,
no, it's not windy, but we can do shoe cam.
Right, exactly. Right. Yes, exactly. I got on.
Because you can wear chucks and pearls.
Just blue chucks. Yes, and pearls. Just blue. I didn't go to the highest of 7 heels, but.
But when she told the story, she didn't say Duke. She said she was locally, and I was like,
right.
I know Harold Jenkins like yes, because she
I wore Duke blue.
I see that. Yeah, I was a little confused when you came in here, but I was like, okay, I see she repping Duke. Yeah. It's okay.
Even on the,
it's a bit much. It's a bit much. But nevertheless, thank you for coming. Thank you for pouring into me so that I can pour into someone else.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you. Thank you.
Love you too.
I love you too. All right. So thank you. We have going to our next sponsor break, The Perfect Touch Wedding and Events. You'll hear from them. And then we'll have our next guest speaker next. Thank you. Stay tuned.
Thank you.
The Perfect Touch Weddings and Events is proud to present the Perfect Pop-Up Wedding Collection. Do you dream about an easygoing, small wedding? A step above a standard elopement or courthouse wedding, pop-up weddings are budget-friendly, generally spontaneous, and less stressful to plan. Our team will organize all things ceremony. Your pop-up wedding will include a licensed officiant to oversee your ceremony, including when to exchange rings and vows. A florist will provide your personal flowers, including your bridal bouquet, and timeless, beautiful decor to define your altar. A saxophonist will entertain your guests upon arrival to get friends and family in a soulful mood. A beautiful serenade while you walk down the aisle and after your sealed kiss. A photographer will capture still images of your most treasured moments, while the videographer will prepare an emotional highlight film that will tell your love story of your wedding day from start to finish. Your pictures and video will be the closest thing you have to reliving your wedding day. You will toast to forever with champagne and have a sweet, sweet ending with a wedding cake. More importantly, you will have a licensed and insured wedding coordinator from D Perfect Touch Weddings and Events to oversee vendor logistics and the entire experience. Do you happen to need a venue? We can assist with that too. Our all-inclusive pop-up wedding collection allows you to float 11 stories above the city streets in downtown at the Balcony, Orlando. This venue offers your guests a view of Lake Eola and surrounding skylines. You simply will be responsible for what you wear and who you want to be there. Contact us today to schedule a consultation and learn more about our pop-up wedding collection.
All right, so we're back. We're back. Listen, it's been an amazing morning already with our two previous speakers, and we're going to continue that same energy. I'm excited about the person I have here. I got a chance to meet Carol a while ago when I was in another capacity, and I was always been impressed with her. It's almost like royalty. You know, she's always polished and put together, but very compassionate, very knowledgeable, and she is doing great things for Orange County. So I'm glad to have you here. And she's a diva at her style. I don't want y'all to know. Every time I see her, I'm impressed.
Well, we shop in the same place.
We do shop. We run into each other. We have run into each other shopping, and I'm going, "What she got in her cart?" But anyway, can you tell us about who you are? Tell us a little bit about who you are.
Well, Kimberly, I just want to start by saying thank you so much for inviting me to be part of your program. It's been such a pleasure to work with you and your team. It's been so organized. So I really commend you. And I'm so proud of you. And it's so exciting to see you grow in your business. So thank you for having me here. And congratulations.
Pleasure. My team is amazing. Danisha, Michelle,
great team. Everything very organized. So I'm Carol, and I was born in Colombia, born and raised there. And I came to the States when I was 16. So I've had the opportunity to live abroad, live the culture, and then come here to the States. I went to Valencia College, then USF, and then UCF. So, here in Florida, that's
you're bull in a night.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. Have, house divided. Right. I am the mother of two beautiful children. I have a 4-month baby at home.
I can't wait to see the pictures.
He is just a meatball. And then, wife to a very supportive husband, who allows, me to live this craziness with work and a juggle with having kids and work. And I'm with the county. And so I'm with the Office of Economic Trade and Tourism Development. And we help connect businesses to resources that help them grow and expand.
Yeah. And one thing about your role that you have that I love is that you, because of your wisdom, because of your ability to connect companies that are interested in doing business with Orlando and Orange County, that you sit on several boards. And you've also a co-founder of an organization, correct?
Yes.
So you're a wife, a mom, your leadership role in Orange County government, you sit on several boards, and you co-founded an organization.
Yeah, absolutely.
When you think about it,
I know it's a little crazy. And, I did co-found that like 6 years ago. So now I've kind of stepped back more as an advisor role because it is a lot. And sometimes, when you're put into, these positions, you have to put everything in, right? So you have to pick and choose what is my focus. And so that's kind of what I'm doing now is picking and choosing what organizations to really, put myself full in, and then just trying to be, a mommy to two and juggle work. But it's a blessing to be here
and
to
have the support, like you said.
Absolutely, it takes a village.
It takes a village.
It does. Yeah.
You cannot, if you're a woman-owned business or you're looking at entrepreneur, you cannot do it by yourself. You have to find people who are aligned with your vision, who support you, who want you to be the best you.
Absolutely.
And so, you have that with your family. So I want for you to share with us some of the things that the county is doing as far as including diversity with Orange County in particular.
Absolutely. Yep. So we just, we've been launching the Orange Cares grant for small businesses. And the application closed on Monday. So hopefully, everyone had the opportunity to apply for that grant. We'll see in the future if there's more opportunities there. But 68% of those applications were women and minority owned.
Oh, awesome.
So that's great. And we had over 15,000 applications for that. So that's exciting. But, on behalf of the county, the mayor, Mayor Jerry Demings, he's very, very much about inclusiveness and diversity. So he makes sure that whatever task force he puts together, whatever boards are part of the county, there is diversity in that, from all aspects. So that's very important. In regards to procurement, we're doing a better job in making sure that these contracts are awarded to small companies and women and minority owned businesses. Yeah. So those are some of the things that we're doing as a county to make sure everyone's included.
Yeah, Sheena Ferguson runs the Orange County program. And that was one of the things is how can they get in contact if there's a small or diverse business with the county? Because you heard from the city with Commissioner Hill, you heard from Orange County Public Schools, how to get in touch with them. If you're a small or diverse business, if you're a woman-owned business, because I'm talking to my ladies, if you want to do business with the county, you want to reach out to Sheena Ferguson with the small business office at the county.
Correct. She's amazing. Her and her team, they help with the certification process and they'll help connect you to those procurement opportunities for women-owned businesses and small businesses as well.
So the next question is, what are some resources that you can share with women business owners that you can help them to advance their business?
Yeah, great. Yeah, there's so many. And really, you are a wealth of knowledge as well. So, chime in. But it really depends on what type of business you're in. So, there's Women in Defense, if you're into simulation. There's NABO, which is at the National National Entrepreneurial Center. There's Athena PowerLink is an awesome group as well. But we also have so many other organizations that help not only women, but all sorts of businesses. And really, most of them at the National Entrepreneurial Center, there's 13 resources under one roof. It's a one-stop shop. If you need strategic planning, marketing, advice, we have Prospera, we have Accion. There's so many resources here. We're so blessed in the county to have these available to us.
And the National Entrepreneur Center, and I want to say it a couple of times, the National Entrepreneur Center, because you have a very strong stake. And when I say you, the county has a very strong stake in the success of that program. You actually sit on the board, I believe, for that particular program. And you're very vested. I've seen several of their meetings.
Yep, absolutely. So there's actually 2 seats that the county has. My boss is one of them, and then myself. So we both sit on that board. And basically, we sponsor the NEC to help disseminate programs and, these other resources to help businesses expand, because we as a county, we don't provide, funds directly to businesses. What we do is we fund organizations like the NEC to help support entrepreneurs. So they're a great supporter, one-stop shop. The business model is amazing. They've been awarded, throughout the nation as, small gardening, economic gardening. So great resource.
I think it's only one of 2 in the United States.
Correct.
And I've actually brought a team in from the U.S. Department of Commerce to tour that location, and they were blown away.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Rarely do you see 14 different agencies all dedicated to growing a business in one place.
Oh, it's so easy. From a county perspective, I think, someone calls and says, hey, I want to start a business. where do I go? I can just send them to the NEC. Or so we have someone that calls, I want to expand my business. You know, there's so many stages within a company. So what can I do? And I really just send them there. There's another great resource as well. It's called the Florida Virtual Entrepreneur Center.
Yeah.
So it's a virtual platform, and really you can access it, you know, from anywhere in the state. As a county, we support that program. And what that means is if you're an Orange County entrepreneur, you can put your profile on there for free. You can network with other entrepreneurs. And what it does, it helps you rank organically better, you know, once your profile is on there. So it's a great resource.
And now you have Women Empowerment Wednesday and 3D Strategic Management to
Absolutely.
add to it.
And you know, congratulations really
you.
to this platform. It's just amazing. And just what you're doing to help promote these resources to women owned businesses and to everyone. So congratulations to you. And thank you for what you're
doing. My pleasure.
Yes.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for taking the time with a new baby. I completely understand. The reason why, you know, Women Empowerment Wednesday is one of the programs that we have under 3D Strategic Management. I also have a seed program where we work with students to teach them about entrepreneurship. And then I work with corporations. And I just did a presentation with Duke executive team 2 weeks ago to teach them about supplier diversity and just kind of help them. So there's so many different ways that we, through my company, through our 4 core services, and of course, working directly with small and diverse businesses. We have 2 large grant right now. One is through the United States Department of Commerce to provide business development services through the CARES Act funding.
Great.
And that's to small and diverse businesses. And then we have the export. And that's why I'm very excited about you being here too today, because one of the programs is that the U.S. Department of Commerce really wants to see more export resources in different parts of Florida for minority and small businesses, concentrated efforts for small and diverse businesses. And so, but I want to go into the next question, speaking of resources. And the question is, can you tell us about a female icon, either personal or professional, that you've looked up to as an inspiration, and why did you consider them an icon or inspiration?
Sure. Well, that's a great question. So I'll have to say there's 2 women.
Okay.
One, my mom, you know, it's cliche, but she's amazing. She had me when she was 17. So she was barely graduating high school. So she sacrificed so much for us, for me to be able to go to school. So she's amazing. And then the other person is, you know, a local hero. I would say her name is Mindy Herzog.
Okay.
And she is the senior trade consultant for the U.S. Commercial Service. She is a superstar. I mean, talk about international, right? What she does is she helps local companies, American companies, at least 51% American owned, to find new markets abroad.
Okay.
So about 90% of the market is outside of the U.S.
Yes.
So it's very important to look outside the U.S. for export opportunities.
That's right.
And so that's what she does. And she helps companies just find new markets abroad. She'll connect them with the U.S. Commercial Service officer in whatever country, or she'll help you define if there's a particular country that's better for your product or service. But on top of that, she's a mom of 3.
Wow.
She's a scientist.
Okay.
And she decided to utilize her skills for the public service. And she was also at one point a service foreign officer. How does she did it all? I don't know, but she's here
make
local.
It happen.
Yeah. And she's here local. So it's just like so many great resources to tap into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, one thing that I didn't really expound on with you is that you actually are responsible for mission trips for people who are interested in doing business here in Orange County. Yeah. So you work with and plan for companies from other countries to come to understand what resources we have here.
Yeah.
And the mayor has tasked you to be the protocol delegate for Orange County government. So that's a lot that you have on your plate.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun dealing with different cultures and companies that want to look to Florida and specifically Orange County to be their new home. And so we have great programs here, the Soft Landing program, through the UCF incubator. And basically Enterprise Florida is a great resource as well. So just to be able to work with so many different types of nationalities and cultures, it's so much fun because you really do have to learn the protocols of each, culture and how you do business with them,
Very important.
You make them feel comfortable. It can make or break a deal.
Any deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Especially when we really are big on first impressions.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And we do business with people we know and we trust.
Yep, absolutely.
So if you're not moving in a way that I'm receptive, then I'm not going to do business with you.
Yeah.
I often say this, and this is to the women businesses, that, supplier diversity is bringing someone to the party. Right. Inclusion is being able to teach them to play the music that they like, but you need to be able to teach them how to dance. So that where you come in is you're teaching them how to dance here in Orlando.
Some salsa,
some merengue, some hip hop, some ballet,
exactly.
Like whatever they need to know, you're teaching them how to dance when they come here.
It's true. Yeah.
And that's important. And so that's why I wanted those that are watching internationally, that I wanted to have you here for that reason too, that there's a department here that can teach you how to dance. Yes, you understand Disney's here in Orange County Public Schools and Universal and tourism and all of that. Okay, so you came. Okay, then you might know that we have 76 million passengers that came through the airport or whatever the stats may be. Okay, so now you're at the party, but do you know how to dance?
Exactly.
And so I think that's important. The other thing too is that one thing I love about your department is, and that's why they need to know who you are. When things are coming to Central Florida before a lot of other people. You knew the Amazon was coming here probably before a lot of other people, because you're looking at how can large corporations come in and impact and grow Orange County.
Yep.
And how are they going to fit into our ecosystem?
Yep, absolutely. So I encourage everyone that's watching and all the businesses here in our county and region to look up the Orlando Economic Partnership. So this is an organization, it's an economic development organization for our region. The county actually provides funding to the OEP to do some economic development into our region. So, they're basically selling Orlando to come and do business here, but they have great data on their website. So if you're a small company and just want to know the demographics, if you want to know, the target markets, what's the workforce labor like? I mean, great resources on that website. They actually have a brace program as well, which is basically taking you to a different resource depending on your need as a business. So it's a great opportunity to kind of see what's going on in regards to who's coming into town, the latest trends in the industry. So Orlando Economic Partnership.
Love that. I've actually went there. They're on right across from Lake Eola, not too far. I went to their building and met with team before.
Yeah.
Great resources, especially if you're putting together a business plan and you're trying to get a loan and you want to be able to let the bank or the lending institution know that you are aware of the resources and the statistics here in Central Florida. Yeah. It's a great resource.
Absolutely. And the SBDC is also a great resource with market research and planning, because I think doing your research is key, to get loans, to find out who your customers are, that pipeline. So I would utilize the SBDC as well.
All right. So we talked about all of these different hats you're wearing, right? Successfully having all these different hats. Let's talk about the mommy hat, though.
Oh gosh, yes.
Do you ever have mommy guilt?
I think all women have mommy guilt.
We
it just, no matter if you're a stay-at-home mom, if you're a working mom, I think we all have it. And, it's a very vulnerable question, right? So I think I'm opening up myself. I'm actually going through it right now. So I have a 4-month-old.
That's why I'm surprised that you said yes.
Yeah,
when Danisha said, Carol's coming, I said, Carol said yes in November. She said yes. I was like, oh, she just had that baby.
I know.
But I appreciate it.
Yeah, but it's my pleasure. And I do it with pleasure because, again, your platform is amazing. So anything I can do to help, but it takes a village to support that. And so right now I'm at
let's stop for one moment, only because, this came loose. And although we're live, things happen when you're live.
It's because I talk with my hands too much. Yeah. Is that okay?
And I'm sorry, but we want to make sure we can hear her. We don't want to cut her off. I think it goes right here.
I think
right there.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Okay,
good.
Okay.
Yeah. So listen, we want to make sure we can hear all this information.
Yeah, absolutely. And just,
all right. So mommy guilt.
Yep. And just, asking, do I stay in my career path? Do I go and work, with my hubby? He has a small business. So those were the questions that I ask myself. But it's really important for me. I take time at night to have a routine with my boys, whether, it's reading a book, just something that I know that they're first, and then, everything else comes next. I think, for at least my faith, God is first, and then family, you know, without him, nothing's possible.
Nothing is possible.
Yes. So I think, yes.
Okay.
Hope that answers your question.
No, it did, because what you said was, it's just going to happen.
Yeah.
I've embraced that it happened. I can't get away from it. Even if you did work for your husband's business, you guys would be very busy and you would have it. Wherever you're doing, if you're not home with that child 24 hours, you're going to have mommy guilt.
Yeah.
But what you do is you say, I set time aside every day for my kids, and I know that I can gauge that I'm doing the best that I can do. And you only can gauge yourself on who you are and what you and your husband have deemed to be success for your kids. Not someone else's, not the Brady Bunch, you know, not anyone else. It's really what your household says is what you measure to be success. Absolutely. And women need to be able to definitely give themselves permission to follow their dreams.
Yep, absolutely.
To go work or own a business, to give back to the community, and to move forward. Yeah, and it's okay.
Yeah, and it's okay. And it's okay to say no sometimes.
It is okay.
Because there's just so much going on, and you want to make sure that you dedicate time to family and work and try to balance it if that's if there's anything like that. But as well, you're a mom, and so you do a lot as well.
It's the village.
So it really is.
I had to be here at 6 this morning. School doesn't start for my daughter until 7:20.
Yeah.
So you have to lean on your village to help you.
It does.
And you have to trust those people that really believe in you. Like you said, your husband really believes in you.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
All right. So we'll go to the next question. If you could talk to your 25-year-old self, and you're like 27. Okay,
gosh. Well, thank you.
Yeah. So if you go back 2 years, right, what would you say to your 25-year-old self?
What would I say? I think I would say to focus, right? Sometimes, when we're in that career path, we're trying all these different things in organizations and networks and networking events. So if I would say focus on what your path is. So my path was international. So, join events that have to do with international, join groups that have to anything with export and trade, because sometimes, again, you get overwhelmed with all this noise. So staying focused. And I think being a good listener, I think that's so key. There's a great TED Talk, William Ury, on listening, the art of listening, because you learn, I think, more when you listen. You learn to be more empathetic and compassionate. And so I think those two things is what I would say to myself.
Good. Yeah. Listening is important, because most people only listening to talk, to just say what they need to say. Like, I'm hearing you, okay, let me tell you what I got to say, right? Not listening to process what you're saying, so then I can have a response that adds to what you were saying. And I think that's important. Listening is important when it comes to contracting, because you have to know what that government agency, Orange County Public Schools or Orange County government or the city of Orlando, you have to listen to what their needs are, and then be able to provide the services based on what they say they needed.
Absolutely.
But if it's if it's one of those things where it's a ITN, then that's an intent to negotiate. Then they want probably to come with creativity. So they're still listening to you. But I think that listening is an art form that a lot of people have not mastered. And that's why when I have the questions and the person is speaking, I'm listening, because I need to be able to take something you're saying to move to the next question. Yeah.
And I think people, if you have the respect to listen to them, they'll listen to you. And it's very important as a public servant to be able to listen to people, because sometimes they just want to vent. And when they come to us, they're really looking for resources. And once you can provide them with really strategic and resources or things that they need, I think they're much more productive.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right, good. Yeah. So it's Q&A time. We have some questions from the audience, and Danisha is going to give us those questions so you can answer them.
Oh, great.
Other than the Orange County CARES grant, what other grants are available for small businesses?
Okay, great. So currently we closed the portal on that. And again, the county doesn't provide direct grants to businesses. There is a bank program. It's up to $5,000 for facade improvement, but you have to be within a specific area in the county. It's usually like the Pine Hills area. But again, we provide funding to organizations like Prospera, BBIF, SBDC, and what they'll do is they'll sit down with you and go through a step-by-step process as to what you need. So that right there is just so valuable. Even Prospera, for example, that's focused for the Hispanic entrepreneur, but they'll help anyone. And also BBIF, they'll have kind of grants to offset like some things, marketing, legal, business. So that's really how we help support businesses here.
Yeah, the Orange County Cares grant was really helpful because I know my organization, my company received a $10,000 grant. We applied and were awarded, and that was instrumental in us really starting at that time. We'll continue to work during that time during COVID.
Yeah.
So that's I'm very a lot of if you're not from Orange County, you're in another county. A lot of counties received CARES Act money. And those counties decided how much they were going to allocate to different needs within that county. Orange County government designated 30%.
30%, so about 72.9 million for businesses. Yeah.
So Orange County is very dedicated when they received their funds. They were truly dedicated to making sure that 30% of that money went to small businesses within the county. And so if you're a woman-owned business and you're looking for additional resources, she mentioned a lot of different agencies that you can contact to get free services because those services have received grant money from the county to help you. So if you're watching and you're wondering, okay, how do I move forward? Contact those different agencies, tell them Carol sent you, and they'll be happy to help you because there's an accountability. All of the agencies that you grant money to, they have to report back to you in your department what they're spending that money on, and probably some success stories.
Oh, absolutely.
And also some challenges. So there's an accountability. So they're looking for you to contact them so that you can get those resources. And that's the whole point of Women Empowerment Wednesday is to connect women businesses with all of the resources that they needed.
Absolutely.
So I want to thank you so much for participating in this program.
Thank you for having me.
I
It's
pray
such
over
a
your
pleasure.
family,
Thank
that
you.
new
Amen.
baby.
I need that.
I pray over all my
Yes,
speakers
thank you.
and their families. I really appreciate you. I'm going to follow up with you because 3D Strategic Management want to get some of this grant money too to help businesses. So I got to see how we can do that. You see how you have to connect relationships.
There you go.
So I'll be scheduling a follow-up meeting with this lady to see how we can move forward. But thank you so much for your time.
Oh, it's my pleasure. And
thank you for participating.
Absolutely. And I look forward to, anybody that wants to connect, feel free to just email me. So,
okay. Yep. Your information was provided while you were speaking.
Wonderful. Thanks so much, Kimberly, for having me. Thank you to you and your team.
Oh,
gracias.
Oh, de nada.
There you go.
Yo hablo español un poquito. And my teacher was Colombian. So she taught me this. She says, hola, hola, Coca-Cola. ¿Qué te vas a calabaza? Nada, nada, limonada.
Wow.
And I never knew, I don't know what that means, but she made us learn a lot of Colombian this was 25 years ago. But she,
and it's stuck. I'm impressed.
It's more than 25 years ago. Yeah, my Spanish, I understand it better than I speak it.
Oh, but it sounds great. I mean, really,
thank you. But so my first taste of Spanish was from a Colombian teacher for 3 years.
That's great.
In school.
I'm so happy to hear that. Yes, we're happy people.
Yeah. All right, then. Cool. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
We will be right back. We have a WEW Women Empowerment Wednesday commercial coming up, and we'll see you right back. All right. Thank you.
Have you joined the Women Empowerment Wednesday movement yet? What are you waiting for? The program is high energy and sure to keep you engaged from beginning to end.
The most rewarding thing about my position is that I can take what others deem as the minority to become the majority.
Yeah.
And to be able to do that, I'm always, and you hit the nail on the head, you kind of said it. I've always, throughout my career in life and growing up, I like fighting for the underdog.
Yeah.
Like, I love it.
Yeah.
I love proving, people wrong. Yeah. I'm a servant leader. I rejoice in others' successes. I'm not jealous
3D Strategic Management is passionate about highlighting issues, concerns, and stimulating the working entrepreneur.
Your gift or your passion starts feeling overwhelming. If it's starting to feel like it's too much, then you're doing too much.
You're going to have some broken hearts on the way to entrepreneurship.
Absolutely.
And you just have to keep going.
Mark your calendars now for our final series of the year, November 18th and December 9th, going live at 9 a.m. 3D Strategic Management owner and CEO Kimberly Rogier Jean-Louis gracefully moderates a panel of top industry speakers from Fortune 1000 companies, large government agencies, and local resource partners on powerful topics addressing the whole woman.
And Duke has one of the highest, I would say, safety standards. And for small and diverse businesses, I don't know if they really think about that all the time. And even if you're not doing a high risk or medium risk type of job, you still would want, if you want to go in for a bid and be impressive, you still would want to have a safety plan.
Right.
And if you don't have a safety plan, you need to make a safety plan. Even if you're 3D strategic management,
right.
You want your employees to go home to their families every day without injury and or death.
Including mind, body, and soul.
Connections you make are key.
Yeah.
It's not about saying, where am I going to find the money? It's about letting other people help you, forming those relationships.
Relationships.
And, we have to be out there doing what you and I are doing and helping other people, because then other people will help you.
Our emotional reserve is what we have available for in case something happens.
Oh, I like that.
If you don't have enough emotional reserve, then you don't know how to react to a phone call that says, hey, this client canceled, or a phone call that says, hey, your son or your daughter is sick at school.
Right.
Your emotional reserve helps you to react to that situation in a better, more logical, more rational way. So the way to do that is to make sure you decompress, make sure you're checking in on self. Every morning I wake up, I ask myself, how am I doing? I literally ask myself, how you doing, Jay?
Hi, I'm Diane Sears with Diverse Media and I4 Business Magazine. And I'm here with Women Empowerment Wednesdays, telling you to keep going and take your business to the next level.
It's your girl, Miss J, of That Is Pieces by Miss J, and the Beautypreneur Academy. Here with Women Empowerment Wednesdays, remember to join the movement. Trust the process, be patient with your journey, and success is right around the corner.
Hey ladies, Tandra Graham with Duke Energy, Supply Diversity Manager. Just want to say I'm excited to be here, WEW, Women Empowerment Wednesday. Join the movement.
Save your virtual seat by visiting www.3dstrategicmanagement.com.
All right, we're back. We're back. Now I know that y'all cup has got to be almost full. All these speakers we had today, and we had some phenomenal speakers, and we have one more. And I'm excited to have you here. I'm excited, everybody, because to be honest, you took the time to come last minute. We had someone else that was going to be on, and they had an emergency, and you came in. And so I really want to sincerely on camera thank you so much for coming in. I think like a week out and saying, yeah, I'll do it. And you referred to us by another one of our panelists, Pia Ciccarelli, who does a lot. But I got a chance to read about your bio, but I want you to tell us about who you are, and then I'm gonna steal some of that information and transition to the question. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. So my name is Dalia Smith, and a lot of people want to say Dalia, but I'm Jamaican. I'm originally from Jamaica. Yes. So you understand, say I'm Jamaican, and my name is Dalia. Anyway, for you Jamaicans. And so I'm really happy to be here because, I love empowering women myself, and you are such a good influence in the community and helping other people. So, I look forward to our relationship together and, helping you grow too. I got to this country with my mom and my dad and my brother, my sister when I was 16. I just finished high school.
Both came at 16.
Yes. And so, everything was new, and I just said, oh my gosh, this is the country where there's so much opportunity. And I went to school, by the way, I'm a medical lab technologist. I don't practice anymore, but that's my background. And funny enough, when I was young, I thought, this is going to be my career as a medical lab technologist. I worked for One Blood for 22 years.
22
yes,
years.
I'm still 16.
Yeah, I know. That's one of the questions. What do you tell yourself at 20? Yeah.
And so after, I worked for One Blood for a while, during that time, I had an accident, which I didn't mention before, but that really changed my life and my perspective of life itself. And so years later, around 2007, I had identity theft happen to me. And I shared that with you, somebody stole my identity. And I literally said to my husband, who's my ex-husband right now, I said, listen, I've been getting these letters for like 3 months and I don't want to pay it. What do I do? I mean, it was so scary.
Yeah, it can be very scary.
Yes. And so I was able to call the lawyer, and the lawyer just, gave me good advice, wrote some letters on my behalf. And imagine me, I literally didn't believe that I didn't have to pay anything for that. And so I didn't get another letter from the debt collector, and I had so much peace of mind. And I called the company up and I said, hey, what is the service? And my husband had it, but we didn't know what it was all about, called Legal Shield. And so, I said, I want to refer my friends and family, because you want to make sure people know about things that are good, just like a good restaurant.
That's right.
And so I started my part-time journey as a Legal Shield independent associate. Back then it was prepaid legal. And I would just do my good job as a work employee, which you ought to do. But on the weekends, I would just share it with my friends and family. And in 2010, we had a layoff for One Blood. And I just said, God, what do I do?
Where do I go?
Where do I go?
Guide me, Lord.
Yes. And he is my rock.
Yeah,
and,
you can't do it without him.
So I took the leap because
you jumped.
I jumped. Yes.
We've been talking about, listen, leaping, jumping has been a continuous theme in my life and people around me. And I posted something on my social media, and I'm glad you said that, because you can't get to where you're going standing where you're at.
That's right. That's right.
You got to get out the boat.
You got to get out the boat.
You got to jump. You got to leap.
And it takes a lot of nerve to jump, but you got to decide to do it.
You got to do it. And you know what? Either you can decide to do it, or you can be let go from a layoff, or you can go through a divorce.
Yep. Or I was going through all that too.
Come on now. Come on.
Yes.
Wait a minute. Now. Come on.
Yes.
Or you can be in a situation where life is not going the way you thought it was going to go. So you have to make changes in your life. Life will make you make changes. Yes. Life will push you in a direction if you don't choose for yourself.
That's right.
So kicking, screaming, however you need to get there, you're going to jump.
Yeah.
Or jump and leap out that boat. So you leaped.
Yes. So I leaped. And, I have a favorite scripture. It says, Philippians 4:13, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And when you seek God, he actually lays out the path. He made connections that I wouldn't even think I could have had. I joined the Citrus Club because I realized that I had to get to know business owners. And it wasn't just I joined the Citrus Club. God connected me with someone else, and they told me, hey, this is a good idea.
Just keep going.
And I was able to do that. I joined the Caribbean Chamber of Commerce. I was on the board for that. And I started networking, getting to know people. I'm diverse. I love diversity. Yeah. So the Asian American Chamber said, hey, come on aboard. Yeah. And I'm like, well, I'm not Asian, I'm Jamaican, but like, there was a connection because, we've got diverse people from Jamaica. And then I actually got invited to be on the board of the Brazilian Chamber. Yeah. And they're like, well, you can speak Spanish a little bit, but it's okay. It's Portuguese, it's fine.
It's like,
yeah. So that's how I, built my network of people that I know today. We've got people that are in my life that are influential. And I'm very proud today that, not only am I doing the business with Legal Shield, but I'm also helping empowering women with, I have a show too, a little show that's
well, you invite me on your little show.
So we Business Empowerment Link.
Yeah.
And then I'm the leader for the Church in the Sun singles 40s and 50s.
I saw
group.
that.
Yes, I'm single because I went through a divorce back then in 2010. And I do mission trips to Jamaica. I just want to give back and pour into women. A lot of women go through the same things that I've been through.
Yes.
And so if you go through a divorce, your kids are affected, your families are affected, and you can pray for people, encourage them, share your story, and empower them to lift their head up So that way, if they need to take the jump of changing careers, if they need to just be stabilized in their environment, then you can be that source of power for them and source of help.
Yeah, you can reach forward while you're still reaching back.
Yes.
And that's been continuous on the show today.
Yes.
It was important when I talked to you, as the more we talked about, and because I talked to everyone that's on the show just to make sure that they're a good fit for the show, right?
Yes.
So as we were talking, one of the things that stood out to me is that, someone's listening right now who may be working for a company. You're taking the time, and thank you for taking the time, if you're working for a company, to listen to this podcast. But you may be working for someone right now. And it may come a time in your life very soon that you have to make a decision. And you're seeing people like this woman who started her own company, who's working as a consultant for a larger organization, but she plans her day. She has a daughter that she's vested in who's grown, but she still has been able to be there for her, living her best life, planning trips and everything else. But you can have the life that you deserve, that God has called you to do, because you have a purpose.
Yes.
Your purpose is tied to what you love to do. And I read that you said that you love just connecting people and helping people.
Yes,
right?
I do.
So her passion is to help people. And that's what she's doing through her business.
Yes,
right?
That's correct.
How she was going to get there, she wasn't sure.
That's right.
But you just keep going every day. And one of the things that you said that I don't want people to take for granted is that you got out, you put yourself out there, and you developed relationships. You joined organizations, even organizations of people that weren't like you.
That's right.
So you stepped outside your comfort zone, like, really, the Asian Chamber?
Yes.
Right. But yes, the Asian Chamber, because those are relationships, right? So I'm very excited that you said that, because some woman needed to hear that.
Yes.
I love the African American Chamber of Commerce. I love Tanisha and the team over there. But the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce and Gabby and her team are just as critical. So we have to make sure that we are going out and we're pursuing all avenues to build our brand.
That's right.
And build the resources in our resource bank.
Yep.
Because you never know who you need to call on.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah. You need the resources.
So let's get into the questions. What are 3 strategies or best practices that a business should do as a startup to protect themselves?
Yeah. So, when you're starting up, you're pretty much kind of all over the place, wondering, should I do a corporation? Should I do a LLC? I don't know. Sometimes you want to talk to your friends about it. You want to talk to, people who've owned businesses, but the best advice is to go to a lawyer and get the advice that you need. And so many of us, we make that decision without actually consulting with a lawyer, and, it does not work out very well. The other thing too is you want to also make sure that you have a business coach or business consultant, or even a mentor or someone who's strategic in management like she is. And that way, you can get good advice and move forward in a strategic way and not have to, make the blunders that you would make, because they've already made the blunders.
Yes, and seen them.
Yes. And also continuously throughout your business, having access to an attorney, whether you actually have a service like ours, Legal Shield, or if you, have a lawyer on retainer, it's very important. And we were just talking in the room there, and she's saying, she sees a lot of people who need contract review, who need, to make sure that they get that debt collection letter out. And, it's costing so much more, when you do it through the traditional way. So we always recommend, to have that access.
Yeah, because you have to protect yourself.
Yes.
So what are some things that companies, how they try and cut corners that usually cost them in the end? And we just talked about that, which is not having the right team, like a lawyer or someone to look at your contracts or to look at how you're setting up the structure of your business. But what are some other things that when small businesses are getting started, to that woman who's getting ready to start a business, what are some things that she needs to make sure she do? Don't cut the corner in doing this, other than a business coach with 3D strategic management. 888-585-3376.
So, you want to, like I go back to having that access. There's so many resources out there that are helpful for you. The chambers are good. The NECs are good. And ongoing, like I mentioned before, ongoing, chats with an attorney, ongoing chats with a coach, and tapping into the resources that are available. I know when you go to the NEC, she talked about the SBDC and all of that. There's so many free resources that are there. And the thing about lawsuits these days, and I wanted to talk about that, for some people, they think they're not vulnerable. And now with COVID-19 and so many things, you have to be proactive about lawsuits. And so that's why some people pay for liability insurance, or maybe they get legal shield, or maybe they have a lawyer and retainer. So in the case where a lawsuit comes up, then they can actually react at that time versus waiting till it gets so big that they just get wiped out. So that's so important, because lawsuits now are like up for small business
because people
owners.
are trying to take advantage. And you may think, okay, well, I just have a pop-up. So how could I get sued? Well, you can get sued because somebody could trip on your table curtain.
That's right.
It's just that easy.
It's
so
easy.
People think about lawsuits from a brick and mortar, but you can get sued even if you're providing services, if you're bringing something to them.
That's right.
People, we're in an environment where people are looking to sue, and they're targeting small businesses, medium-sized businesses. Another thing is that identity theft and cybersecurity. Those three things are really big right now for small and medium-sized businesses. I have been, my emails were hacked.
Wow. Yes.
And what they did was they went in and they put in a code, and the code read that if any email came to me that discussed loans or grants or payroll or finance or bank, these were terms.
Wow.
Several terms that if it had those terms in it, then those emails would be redirected.
Wow.
To an offshore account.
Yeah.
And that's not something that you think. I didn't know I was missing emails until I realized someone said, I sent an email. And I was like, oh, and it was about some money that we were discussing.
Wow.
This person was getting my intellectual property with my finance information.
Yes.
So, the system I have is GoDaddy. I called them, and I got tight. I had to get tighter security. I had to go in and do some things with my bank account. But don't think because you're a small or medium business that you're not up for identity theft or any type of that you don't need protected lawsuits or different things like that. And that's why I wanted to have you here too, is because I want some women-owned businesses to know the legal, the ways they can protect their business, whether you're just starting up, you're a middle-sized company, that the things that are resources that are out here that can help you to protect your business.
That's right.
That are not that expensive.
Not expensive.
It's not expensive. It is really the price of a pair of shoes. So if you want to protect your business, and you can buy a pair of shoes every month, and you can protect your business, which is your livelihood, which is your legacy.
Your legacy.
You know what I mean? It's worth it.
Yeah.
So
and your family too, because sometimes it's a personal lawsuit, and you want to be proactive about that. Or it's a identity theft issue with personal, not just your business. So you want to be really creative and make sure you're proactive about that.
So the next question is, what 2 industry updates or trends should women business owners be aware of?
Yeah, so we were talking about identity theft. Talk about reputation management. You are building your social media presence from you start your business, and I'm hoping everybody is. Someone could actually just come on your social media and actually just blow it all away in 2 posts. And yes, you can go back and say, well, that wasn't me, but guess what? If you were proactive about it, you would have caught it like early, and you would have had service that can help you with that. So you don't want your reputation management thing to go out of whack. You want to make sure that your reputation is nice and clean, and you want to make sure your identity is protected, because all of that stuff's going to stress you out, and your business can just go under in a few seconds. Yes.
It takes 20 years to build a great reputation. It takes 20 seconds to destroy it.
That's right. Yes.
And the women business owners, I want you to be very, and what you said was powerful, because your brand is everything. It's just like your name.
Yes.
It is everything that you stand for. So when someone says your company name, what are they associating it with? Right?
Yeah. It's you.
Yeah, it's you.
It's definitely you.
And you can't separate yourself from your business as much as you want to. If you're a woman-owned business and you own your business, I'm ever mindful of what I post on social media.
Yes. You have to be careful.
Even just my Kimberly page, I'm ever mindful of what I post and how it could impact this company that I've started for my kids.
Yes.
Is it worth whatever I feel, however I thought, some meme that was cute, someone upset me, whatever it is, is it worth damaging my kids and my grandkids' brand?
That's right.
That I'm building.
That's so true.
So I comment, some other stuff, but I don't put it on my page, right? So I'm not saying you can't be free to do whatever you want, but you have to always protect and guard your brand, because branding comes with favor from other folks.
Yes.
Like when she called me, she said, Pia introduced me to you. I said, okay, well,
let's get on the calendar right away. Okay, let's talk, let's schedule some time, because Pia, I trust Pia's brand.
That's right.
And because I trusted Pia's brand, then I'm going to take time to move some things around to talk with you.
And thank you so much.
Oh, no, that's my pleasure. No.
Yes.
But branding is everything. And I don't want them to run past that.
Right.
Yeah.
That's so important.
Even Jocelyn Henson, Dr. Henson said earlier with her social media, if someone has negative energy, she doesn't follow them on social media.
Yes.
You have to protect your branding. I'm glad you brought that up. Okay.
The other thing I wanted to mention is because right now everyone's remote. So you want to make sure you're adapting to technology. You know, the trends now, you have to, if someone wants to meet by Zoom or another platform, just make sure you're ready for it, because it's not going to change. COVID-19 has changed everything, but most people are working from home and a lot of people are not wanting to come out. So be Zoom technology efficient and make sure that you are, being on social media and doing the right things on social media.
And if you don't know how to do it, get someone that you trust to be able to do it, right? So I have clients through our different programs, and the owner will say, well, I'm not tech savvy. I say, you got a daughter? You got a sister? You got a you have a wife? You have a cousin? Do you have someone
teenager somewhere?
Do you have someone that can be tech savvy? They can teach you a little bit to be dangerous. So we don't have the capacity in this day and age to say, I don't know.
No.
You don't have the luxury anymore as a small business.
Unless you got Google.
Google. I Google
right.
Google. Yeah.
Google.
All right. So let's talk about. I'm gonna skip one because we talked about your passion.
Okay.
And we talked about that jump. How should business owners keep their business and personal life separate? And what are some tools?
So you want to, if you're a person who works from home, let me start with the home-based business person, because you're not a big business person. If you don't have an office space, carve out a small space that's typically your office and make sure that space is protected. If you have a home office, make sure that space is protected. You're not going there to play, watch TV. This is your workspace, because at the end of the day, you want to calendar yourself you're working from 9 to 5. You're disciplined, making sure you're taking your lunch break, making sure you're taking breaks in between. And I use Calendly, by the way, to set my schedule up. And leave that space at the end of the day, because you want to keep your family together. You want to make sure that your kids, if you have young kids, that they know mommy has a business and this is what mommy does from 8 till 5 or 9 till 5. And mommy leaves that business, whether it's in the corner of the house or whatever it is. And now it's family time.
Right.
And you have to make sure you have the rest time that you need. You have to make sure you have the play time you need. And so be balanced with your business. So no going back to the business at 10 o'clock at night. I mean, yeah, we do work after hours, but if your family
Saturdays and Sundays,
if your family is
on
planning,
vacations in New Orleans with the laptop,
don't.
It's so hard
because we are workaholics. I mean, I find myself sometimes working till 9, especially because now my daughter's in college. But I literally have it grafted where I'm supposed to stop at 5 o'clock. I'm supposed to take my break and just get some food and do whatever. And then occasionally on my calendar, I might have some late things to do, but I plan it out ahead of time. I make sure I plan it out.
What are some things that business owners can do to separate their business from personal from a legal perspective, so that they can protect themselves from a legal perspective?
So with Legal Shield, we have the family plan that actually helps you with, your wills and tickets and, if you get sued and all that, and advice. Now, if you have a business that you actually don't have employees, we have an add-on. So that way you can add that business consultation part onto the family. It's like a supplement.
Okay.
So it's for the small business owner that works from home or whatever. So you can make sure if you need advice, you can get the lawyer's advice on business. If you have issues with your tax return or debt collection letters, you're able to have that add-on. And so you can keep the personal separate from the business. And then if you grow a little bit more, we've got bigger business plans that can really help you, to manage your business. So
one of the things you said to me even is that you got a ticket one time
and you called, you used the legal shield, and you called, and the attorneys wrote a letter and did some things, and you didn't have to pay the ticket, and you didn't have points.
That's right. So we have an app now, and by the way, I should have mentioned, if you can afford an app and you're a business owner out there, this is the way to go.
Yeah.
You use an app. So we have an app. So I got a ticket. I was visiting my daughter. She went to FAU, and just driving through West Palm, and I know I'm not supposed to speed in West Palm. Don't ever speed in West Palm, guys.
Do not speed in West
And
Palm.
I got pulled over. I'm driving. I was comfortable. Oh my God, I'm getting a ticket. So the guy gave me a ticket. And you know what? Because I have Legal Shield, I sat there on the side of the road, pulled out my app, took a picture of it, sent it off. This is like 3:00 in the afternoon. By the time I got home to Orlando, which was like 6:00, my phone rings. And it was the lawyer calling me, telling me, okay, these are what your options are. And I said, you know what? I'm just going to go with the option of you getting another attorney in West Palm to represent me. They literally called me within a couple of days, and they went to court for me 2 months later in West Palm, and there were no points on my driver's license. So I didn't have to pay Ticket Clinic, $100.
Yeah, right.
I didn't have to stress about it, and I could go to work and not worry about it, because our time is very valuable.
Very valuable.
And you don't want to be like, oh, I'm going to go downtown and take the, ticket and represent myself, or I'm going to go take the school. No.
Yeah.
You want to be efficient with everything, and legally you want to protect yourself, you want to protect your business and your family. So it's a really good way to go.
One of the things that small businesses, women-owned businesses who are small or medium-sized, is that you don't realize that you can have access to the same resources that larger companies have. These Fortune 500 companies have lawyers on retainer, right?
That's right.
They have CPAs on retainer. They have a slew of people on retainer. Yeah. And just because you're a small business or medium business, don't think that you don't have those access to those resources as well. And that's why I wanted to have her here, because I wanted you to know you do have access to resources. Look her up. You see her information posted, and you'll have her contact information. Contact her. Do your research. If Legal Shield is not the company for you, then find a company for you. Find resources to protect yourself and protect your business, because someone could sue you personally.
Yes.
And if your business is not set up, then your business will struggle and could possibly lose your business.
That's right.
And it happens like
that in an instant. Yeah.
Yeah. The enemy is very busy. So you have to make sure you have to stay protected.
Yeah.
And protected means legally too.
Legally too. Yep. That's right.
Yeah. So let's talk about, what would you say to your 30-year-old self?
So one of the biggest things I would say is put God first. And once you put God first, he will direct your paths and he will give you wisdom. The other thing is to make sure you're personally developing yourself. Yeah. I mean, even when you're in your 20s, I mean, you can start even when you're 5 years old.
Yeah.
But it's so important. And I actually got a lot of personal development through Legal Shield because of all the different speakers we've had for, conventions and so on. And I personally have grown because of all the self-development courses and the self-development I guess like John Maxwell's and the different speakers.
Yeah, TED Talks and all those.
Yeah, you want to make sure that you're continuously growing and maturing, not only in God, but also as a person.
Right.
And like we talked about, a key mentor, strategic person, make sure you have that early on. Make sure you start building your social media presence from then, because people will know who you are and they will respect you later on. And start a side business.
Start a side business. Right, because you can work for someone and have a side business. Yeah.
Yes. And you can work very well for that particular company. I'm not saying steal. Make sure you're devoted. Make sure you give them your 100%.
Right.
But you can benefit from a side business, especially a side business with residual income. And that's what I found out when I got into Legal Shield. I was like, man, this is amazing. And especially with the COVID-19 situation, I had residual income. So it was beautiful. And
so for those that don't know residual, I want to make sure we're clear. I don't run right past that. Residual means you met a client, they signed up, right?
Yes.
You talk to me. I say, yes, oh my God, it's what I need. I pay. And then every month that I'm on that plan, you're getting a percentage of that money.
That's right.
Right. As long as I have the plan.
That's correct.
Right.
Yeah. It's just like life insurance. Once you have your life insurance or your auto insurance, the insurance agents get paid like that. So it's the same thing with Legal Shield.
Yeah.
And most people, I mean, a lot of people that I have, they've had it for years and years. They update their wills, they use it for just, I will give you a quick story about a little thing that I did even 2 years ago. I had an issue that was with Southwest Airlines. They actually had $200 credit for me. And when I called them up, I wanted to use it to go to Jamaica on my mission trip. And they said, well, it's going to expire. You have to use it now because you can't use it for September. And I'm like, that doesn't make sense. And so because I had Legal Shield and I knew I had the power to talk to a lawyer, I just hung up the phone. I said, no worries. I called the law firm. I told them the situation. And the lawyer explained that he's going to actually write a letter to Southwest Airlines. And funny enough, he wrote the letter, and a week later, they got an email back from Southwest Airlines legal department. And they said, we are so sorry. We're going to refund your money. And the rest is history. I was able to use my ticket, my credit to buy the ticket for Jamaica for my mission trip. So that was easy. Just having the lawyer give me advice, write a letter on my behalf. And it didn't cost me anything because I'm a member.
What I hear is Legal Shield is like my people. I have my people handle that.
Mm-hmm.
Like every time you tell a story, I'm like, I'll have my people handle it. My people will handle that. Yeah, that's good.
So you're like a big corporation with a small business budget, and you're able to access lawyers just the same way that big corporation is. And so you have power and you have leverage, and you feel more confident as a business owner because you don't have to worry about the small stuff. You don't have to worry anymore because you're not paying $200 an hour every single time you talk to an attorney. You're just paying your monthly membership, which I tell people if they can use it for one thing, if they can use that membership for one thing, you actually get more value than you would have paid in a whole year.
Yeah,
so
definitely a will. I recommend everyone get a will.
Yes.
I think that's important if you have starting a business, if you have a business, if you have kids, if you have property, and you want to leave it to somebody, something,
that's right.
Then you need to make sure you have a will. Now it's time for Q&A, and Danisha Anthony with the Perfect Touch Wedding and Events is going to give us the questions.
How do you keep going through the ups and downs of business ownership?
So I always put God first, and in the ups, it's good, and I praise God. In the downs, I still praise God.
Right.
And one of the things that I do is continuously network, and even with COVID-19, I built a good presence on LinkedIn. And so with LinkedIn and Facebook, I call people up. Don't be afraid to call people. I mean, I've got 10,000 on my LinkedIn now because I built it.
Wow.
But believe it or not, I call people from Texas, from anywhere. Yeah, some people might not be ready to talk, but that's how I met Pia, by the way.
Yeah.
I call people up and I find out what's going on. How are you? Build a relationship with them. They might not be ready to buy what you have, but at least you can find out what they do.
Yeah.
You can share with them what you do, and you can actually get through the tough times. Because when you hear other people are going through the same things that you're going through, whether it's, business being down because of COVID-19, or, they're going through family issues, then you realize we're all in this together.
We're in it together.
All women are going through the same things. We have family, not because you're a multimillionaire, you are just on this pedestal and you're never going to have issues and your business never fails.
Yeah.
Listen, those people have those same business challenges too. Yes.
I mean, she built a national brand in purses, and she committed suicide.
That's right.
So somebody would think, okay, girlfriend, you got millions of dollars, you got purses everywhere. Sex in the City you were their sponsor. They would wear your purses. Like, why would you kill yourself?
Yep.
And that's one of the things that keeps driving me. And I know that's one of the things keep driving you, is because we want to make sure that people have what they need to be successful so they can enjoy the success long term.
That's right.
Right. And it's not about the money.
It's not about the money.
If you're in business and you're thinking I'm in business for the money, more money, more problems.
Wrong attitude.
More money, more responsibilities. And I say mo, I mean mo. Okay? It's not more. You passed more a long time ago. When you start getting money, it's more. It's more. So I always want to be transparent, and I always want to be vulnerable, and I want my speakers to be transparent. I appreciate you for giving the information and telling your story.
You.
And I wanted to make sure that you talk a little bit about how they can get in contact with you as far as Legal Shield, and are there any specials or anything you have going on right now?
Well, one of the things that we do is we go into small business owners or big business owners, and we empower their employees. So just like most of the companies offer benefits. So we go into companies and offer Legal Shield and ID Shield as a benefit. And we have a huge discount when you have employees that sign up. So whether you have 2 employees or you have 1,000 employees, like I have one of the transportation companies in town here, and they've got over 1,000. That's, God bless me with that. But we offer the discounted rates so that way employees can have access to getting their wills done, making sure their family's protected. I mean, we've got gun owners plans, we've got, all kinds of things. But if you are interested in doing that, you can reach out to me, because it doesn't matter if you have only 2 employees or if you have 1099 people.
Yeah,
you can actually get the discount, which is not the rack room price on the benefits.
Yes. Okay. All right. Well, I want to say thank you for stopping by.
Thank you. It was a pleasure. Oh, I enjoyed it.
That's my goal. I really, when I envisioned this program and this platform, I envisioned that one, it would be virtual, which in person, and we can connect, which I'm excited to announce. Are you ready?
Yes.
I'm excited to announce that we're actually going to move to a different platform. We feel like we can open up a little bit more.
Wow.
So but I'm really excited about that. Yeah, thank you. But the reason why I wanted to have this platform started almost a year ago is because I wanted to bring women who have resources to connect to women who need those resources, who can connect to and give to other women who need those resources, right? And so the program is put together so that I look at a woman holistically. I'm looking at you. I am every month thinking about you and thinking about what you need from a business platform, business development. I'm looking at contract development. I'm looking at whether I can bring a corporation in. I'm looking at administratively. Do I need to have someone from Legal Shield, or do I need to have someone else come in? And I'm looking at you from a health. Because again, when I talked about that fist earlier, right? You can't have a mighty fist to be able to punch through whatever you need to punch through if you're not sound emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually. And then just work on whatever issues that you have had from out your lifetime, and you're carrying something. If you don't think you are, take a look at yourself, look at past relationships, look at past business dealings, look at your kids, your mother. All of us are carrying something that we need help to mend, fix, get through, get over, get around, get under. Something need to be got.
Get help with.
Get help with. We do, everybody.
Yes.
So we have to make sure that that this one is also important, and that's why I commend Commissioner Regina Hill for being open about the fact that she's going to counseling. I just started going to counseling. I think I'm going to 2 sessions. I'm going to continue those sessions because it's important to me if I'm going to pour into other women that my cup is strong. You understand? And the more that you are out there pouring to other people, the more the enemy come after you too.
Oh, yes. Yes.
The more that you think you're going to have a life partner for life, something happening, it's not life anymore.
That's right. That's right.
The more that you think that financially you're going to be set with a certain situation, you're not set anymore.
That's right.
The more that you think you're going to be on this job, because I thought I would do medical testing lab. That's what I'm going to do. That's my purpose. I love it. 22 years, one place. That's what I'm going to be. Then the enemy comes and shuts that down.
Yep.
What do you do?
That's right.
What do? You ball up a fist.
Yep. And you become stronger.
You become stronger. You become a warrior.
You pivot. You jump.
You jump. Yes, you jump. All right, so we're going to jump to the next time. We're going to remember to jump the next time. Our next Women Empowerment Wednesday is Wednesday, December 9th. It is not the third Wednesday, it's the second Wednesday. It's Wednesday, December 9th, because my birthday is December 15th, and I plan to be on somebody's beach.
Happy birthday
yes,
now.
Yes, I plan to be on somebody's beach, sipping a Mai Tai, taking really cute pictures, feeling really good about myself.
That's right.
And I'm just being transparent.
That's right.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yes.
For yourself.
That's right. And that's what you should do. So we moved it to November 9th so that I can enjoy my life and enjoy my family, enjoy my girlfriends, and plan and go on a fabulous trip. We're looking at the Maldives, so we'll see.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm excited. So anyway, we will see you next. The next one is Wednesday the 9th. Enjoy Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Enjoy your family.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy
too.
Thanksgiving.
Oh, it's just right around the corner.
It is right around the corner.
Wow.
Be thankful for the things that you have.
Yes.
You're not going to have everything you want in life. That just is what it is. You're not going to have everything you want.
but be thankful for the things that you do have. Because if you were able to sit for 2 hours and watch this and soak up something, and you're thinking about having a business, or you have a business, that's a lot to be thankful for.
Yeah.
I want to be thankful for everyone that came today.
Oh, yes.
And presented and thought it not robbery to spend their time. Like Jocelyn, Dr. Henson would say, thought it not robbery to spend their time with me and with my team, who are all dynamic women. I want to thank Donisha Anthony with D Perfect Touch Weddings and Events. I want to thank Michelle Wright with Mimi Sugar Scrub, and everyone in my family, my friends, Rhonda, who keeps my kids, and just all of my family, everybody that helps me, Christy Burns, everybody that help me be able to do this. I don't do this by myself.
Yeah, it's a team.
It's
teamwork.
A team. It's teamwork made the dream work.
Yeah, I like that.
Very thankful. All right, have a good day. Women Empowerment Wednesday. We'll see you next Wednesday on December 9th. I love you, and I'm doing this because I want to see you grow, and I want you to be strong. All right, bye.
Bye. Thank you.